Hello, beautiful people. My name is Elizabeth Gaines. I am the founder and lead practitioner of Breakthrough Burnout. And what we do at Breakthrough Burnout is we use state-of-the-art in-home testing to get to the bottom of your fatigue and focus issues. We like to make you a stronger person in every cell, tissue, muscle, system, and fiber of your body. And especially in these times when the only lever we have to pull in terms of if we get sick from COVID-19 and how sick we get is our own health. So I want to tell you about an exciting new test that we have in our roster at Breakthrough Burnout. I have spent the past 4 months, the beginning of 2020, getting certified to interpret this test, and I want to tell you all about it. It is the hair mineral tissue analysis test. And I want to tell you what it is, how it works, and how it's different from a test that you might get at a doctor's office. Before I do that, if you're having some less than lackluster health and you're just not feeling like yourself and you want to use this downtime to work on your immunity, go on over to btbcall.com and schedule a free assessment call with me. So what is the hair tissue mineral analysis test? So I will send a test kit to your home. You cut a small portion of your hair, the first 1.5 inches from about 4 or 5 places on your head, and you send that to the lab, and then I get a report on all of the minerals that are in your hair. And so I know you're asking me at this point, how is this different from a blood test that I might get at the doctor's office, which will also tell me about the minerals in my body? So it differs in 2 ways. The first is that 1.5 inches of hair that comes from your head represents 3 to 4 months of growth, depending on how fast your hair grows. So a blood test, just like a urine test, a saliva test, a stool test, a blood test is one moment in time. It is the exact moment that the blood was taken. But the hair test gives us a composite look at the last 3 to 4 months. So it's actually a much more accurate representation of how the body is coping with stress. That's the first way it's different. The second way that it's different is that your body needs the minerals to be in the blood. That's where they have to be. That's the only place that they're doing any good. So when the doctor is testing the blood, he is testing for radical disease, because if the levels in the blood aren't right, you've already crossed the line into dysfunction and disease. But what I want to know is how much stress is your body under trying to keep the levels right in the blood? So is it all hunky-dory and it's all bioavailable and the body is just pulling it from the food and it's all fine? Or are we having some issues with digestion and we're having some issues with detoxification and we're not quite able to pull the minerals out of the body, and so the body is pulling it out of the bone in order to put it in the blood? Is there too much of one thing that can't get absorbed that should be in the bone, but now it's being like shoved into the soft tissue for safekeeping? These are the kinds of things that the hair test will tell us that the blood test simply won't. So what does the hair tissue mineral analysis test actually test? So we have 4 primary minerals. Those are called our spark plug minerals. I don't particularly like that name because I don't like to think of the body as a machine, but most of all of our metabolic functions require one of those 4 primary minerals. And those 4 spark plug minerals are calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. The hair test also tests 25 additional minerals, as well as 8 heavy metals, so we can actually check your heavy metal exposure as well. So the information that we get from the 4 primary minerals is important, but the test also then compares what's called the significant ratios. And that is taking a primary mineral and comparing it with one of the secondary or tertiary minerals to get a really deep look into a particular system of your body. So first and most importantly, during this time, when it's really important for us to be strengthening our immune system. This will give us a very, very deep look into how healthy the immune system is. We can also learn about our hormone balance, the speed of our metabolism, if we are a slow oxidizer or a fast oxidizer, and how we might be able to tweak those levers to make sure that that our metabolism is operating ideally, so that we're not going too fast and burning ourselves out, and we're not going too slow and we're unable to move heavy metals and minerals out of our body in an expeditious way to keep us healthy. It'll tell us about our blood sugar over the past 3 or 4 months. We can learn about our thyroid health, whether our thyroid is slow or fast or just right. It can tell us about our adrenal function, how well we have an adrenal response to the daily output of cortisol that we need to be awake and be healthy. It'll tell us about our digestion issues and our gut health. So are we actually able to pull minerals and nutrition out of the food that we're eating to use to strengthen our bodies? Or is it just going to waste? Do we have chronic infections in our gut or in the rest of our body that's taking away valuable resources from our immune system when we need our immune system now more than ever to be working tip-top? We can learn about how much heavy metal we've been exposed to, particularly mercury. Like if you've eaten a lot of seafood in your life, it's important to take a look. If you've eaten things out of cans, it's important to see how much aluminum there is. These things are also siphoning off your immune system's ability to fend for itself. We can learn about chemical sensitivities, and we can also learn about mood issues. A lot of those times when when we just feel depressed for long periods of time and we can't explain it, it's really not emotional. It's nothing wrong with us. It's just our minerals are out of balance. And those are things that we can bring back into optimal function. And this is a great time to do it when we don't have anything else to do, when we're at home, when the external stresses are a little bit quieter. I know we've got a lot going on internally with working from home and childcare and kids and all of that type of stuff. But right now we don't have the external commitments. And so it's a really good time for us to drill down into the specifics of what's going on with our health and make ourselves as strong as we can possibly be so that we can have vibrant and stunning health, and we can protect ourselves in the weeks and months to come as the country opens back up, as we all go back outside again, as we all return to work. We're going to be in contact with this virus, and it's very important in determining if we get sick and how sick we get is how healthy are we at our core. So I want us all to use this time to get super, super healthy. I'm really excited to be able to offer this test. So I'm running a special on it. So you get one test kit and then one session with us to go over the results for $200. Really, really inexpensive as far as functional lab testing goes. And if you mention that you saw me on Instagram, I will give you $20 off of that price. So come on over to btbcall.com if you'd like to book an assessment call, or send me a DM if you know you want to do the hair test, and I'll be happy to set you up. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.